The stars are vanishing. One by one, the entire sky turns black, as if creation itself is running out of breath. And at the center of it all, Superman floats, surrounded by what remains of a dying multiverse. He can feel it. Reality isn't just breaking apart. It's collapsing inward, folding like a dying star into a singular point of oblivion. Worlds he's saved, people he's loved, even his own past, are fading into static. But before it all ends, one question burns inside him. Can hope survive when the multiverse itself dies? Short pause, tone in voice. It began months ago. A ripple in spacetime detected by Mr. Terrific, warning the Justice League of an anomaly beyond any threat they'd ever faced. At first, it was just one universe, Earth 29, gone without a trace. Then another, and another. By the time the League realized what was happening, 12 universes had already vanished, erased, not destroyed. No energy residue. No signature. Just nothing. Batman theorized a cosmic implosion, something devouring the structure of existence itself. But when the Monitor appeared before the League, even Batman went silent. The Monitor's words chilled them all. The walls between worlds are dying. The multiverse is reaching its end. And this time, there is no Anti-Monitor to blame. The silence that followed was unbearable. Superman clenched his fists. "Then we fight it," he said. But the Monitor shook his head. "You cannot fight entropy." Still, Superman refused to accept it. He had to find a way. He had faced Darkseid, Doomsday, cosmic gods, and even the death of universes before. But this was different. This was the death of all possibility. So he began searching for answers across the remaining Earths. He visited the Phantom Zone, where even the ghosts of Krypton screamed as their reality decayed. He flew through the bleed, the space between universes, where time melted like wax under the heat of collapsing dimensions. And then he found her. Harbinger, the last emissary of the Monitor Corps. Half her body was fading into nothing, her voice flickering like an echo of dying light. She told Superman the truth. It's not an attack. It's a reset. The multiverse has reached the end of its lifespan. The source itself is dying. Superman didn't want to believe her, but deep inside he could feel it. Even his solar cells, the endless source of his strength, were weakening. The sun itself across countless realities was burning out. The source of all energy, all life, was collapsing inward. The source wall, once a boundary of divine power, had fractured, and the overvoid, the realm beyond imagination, was consuming it. And yet, there was something else. A heartbeat, a rhythm pulsing at the center of all collapse. Superman recognized it. It was familiar. When he focused his senses beyond the quantum veil, he saw it. A spark of creation, alive in the darkness. It was faint, fragile, but alive. A newborn universe, trying to form while the old one was dying. If he could protect that spark, if he could carry it beyond the collapse, maybe, just maybe, life could begin again. But there was a price. To reach that spark, he'd have to travel beyond reality itself. Past time, past matter, into the source realm where even gods disintegrate. Batman's voice echoed through the comlink. "Clark, you can't go there. No one comes back." Superman only smiled faintly. "I've died before." And with that he left. No ship, no armor, just faith. As he flew into the endless white of the source, reality began to peel away from him. Memories flickered: Lois, Jonathan, Ma Kent, his friends, his home. Each thought stripped away by the burning truth of what lay beyond. When he finally crossed into the boundary of the overvoid, he saw himself. Millions of reflections, infinite versions. Each Superman from each universe drawn to the same call. They were all dying too. Some fought it, others prayed. But all of them shared the same look of unbreakable hope. In that instant, Superman realized something. The multiverse wasn't collapsing by accident. It was calling him. Somewhere beyond everything, something wanted him to see the end. And then light. Blinding, infinite light swallowed him whole. He heard one voice echo through the void, soft, calm, timeless. Kal-El of Krypton, you have reached the end. But the end is not what you think. Superman opened his eyes, and standing before him was a being of pure energy, a shape without form, the source itself. His next words would change everything. The source spoke without words, yet its voice filled every corner of Superman's mind. All creation is a circle, Kal-El. Every breath, every universe, every god, returns to me. Superman floated before it, feeling the heat of a billion suns burning through his body. But beneath the awe, there was fear. What are you saying? He demanded. That this is the end of everything? The source shimmered like liquid eternity. Not an end, a return. The multiverse has grown beyond its limit. It must collapse, so something greater can be born. Superman clenched his fists, his aura flaring gold. But there are billions of lives out there. Worlds that believe in hope. In me. In something beyond destruction. The source pulsed brighter. Hope cannot stop entropy, Kal-El. But it can guide rebirth. That word, rebirth, burned inside him. Superman realized this wasn't about saving the current reality. It was about saving the possibility of future ones. If he could carry the spark of existence through the collapse, he could ignite the next universe. But before he could speak, a shadow tore across the white expanse. Something ancient, something wrong. It was Doomsday, but not the one he knew. This version was vast as a galaxy, its flesh made of decayed universes, each bone shard a dying world screaming in silence. The source's glow dimmed. It is the final predator, the end given form, the shadow of what remains when creation forgets why it began. Superman braced himself. The creature lunged. Reality shattered like glass. Superman struck back, fists colliding with the monster's chest, sending shockwaves that ripped through timelines. Every punch birthed echoes across dying Earths, each version of Superman fighting beside him in flickering symmetry. For a moment, he saw infinite Supermen, all united in the same cause, to fight back the dark at the end of time. But Doomsday was evolving. Every blow Superman landed only made it stronger, absorbing the dying energy of collapsing worlds. Fed on the end itself, Superman felt his strength fading. The light from his cells dimmed. His heartbeat slowed. He looked to the source. If I fall, everything ends. The source replied softly. Then rise as more than you were. A surge of golden energy engulfed him. Pure source fire. The raw essence of creation. His suit burned away, replaced by flowing light. Every atom of his being sang with power beyond comprehension. He had become something new, Superman Prime, the living conduit of the source. The next punch shattered Doomsday's chest, releasing the screams of a million trapped realities. Light poured from the wound like molten infinity. But the creature didn't die, it split. Each fragment became a copy of itself, multiplying endlessly. A plague of endless predators, devouring everything that still remained. Superman could feel it happening, the collapse accelerating. Time was fracturing, dimensions folding. Even concepts were dying, love, fear, faith, sound, all erased. And through the destruction, he heard Lois's voice. Not from any world, not from any time. Just her. Clark, keep your promise. The memory of her gave him strength. He pressed forward, through waves of darkness, his light tearing through infinity itself. He flew not as a man, not even as a god, but as a symbol of defiance. Every punch he threw created new sparks of light, embryos of future universes. Each one glowed brighter, singing with potential. But the Doomsday Swarm was endless. For every light he created, 10 more were snuffed out. The source spoke again. The multiverse dies not in battle, but in silence. Yet you fight. Why? Superman's voice thundered. Because someone has to believe. Even if the end wins, I'll make sure it remembers we were here. The source grew still. Then it smiled. Or maybe it was the light shifting. Superman couldn't tell. Then take the spark, Kal-El. Carry it beyond the veil. A golden orb appeared before him, the heart of creation, pulsing with all the life that could ever exist. He reached for it, but doomsday struck, piercing his chest. Pain unlike anything he'd ever felt ripped through him. He fell backward, the heart slipping from his hands. The swarm closed in, tearing at his aura, devouring his light. And yet, even as his body began to disintegrate, Superman refused to let go. He caught the heart once more, holding it against his chest. His voice broke through the chaos. "I'm not dying for nothing." Then he flew, faster than light, faster than thought, faster than endings, straight into the source wall. It exploded around him in a storm of divine fire. For a moment, everything was still. No pain, no sound, no stars. Only Superman holding the heart of creation. He whispered one last word. "Live!" The light consumed everything. The multiverse went silent. And then, a heartbeat. Silence. For the first time in eternity, absolute silence. Then one breath, a flicker, a sound, soft and fragile, echoing through nothingness. Superman gasped. He was alive, but everything around him was gone. No stars, no galaxies, just an endless, shimmering field of golden dust. He looked down at his hands. They glowed faintly, made of light and matter interwoven. He wasn't human anymore. He wasn't even Kryptonian. He was something beyond both. In his chest, the heart of creation pulsed weakly, its glow dim, but steady. He had done it. He'd carried the spark beyond the collapse. But now came the harder question. What did he do next? Superman floated for what felt like centuries. There was no time here, only thought, memory, and purpose. He could feel remnants of the old multiverse whispering inside him. Echoes of lives that once were. Batman's caution. Wonder Woman's courage. Lois's love. All still inside him. He realized something profound. Every universe that had ever existed had left a piece of itself within him. He wasn't just Superman anymore. He was everyman, the memory of all creation. And then, from the dust, a voice. Soft. Familiar. "You kept your promise." Superman turned and saw her. Lois Lane, glowing like starlight, formed from the energy of the dying multiverse. She smiled gently, touching his face with hands that shimmered like sunlight. Tears, if such things could still exist, filled his eyes. "Lois, how? You carried me here," she said. "All of us. Every soul, every dream. You brought them through the end." He looked around. The golden field shimmered brighter. From the dust, figures began to rise, shapes of light forming familiar outlines. People, worlds, gods, heroes, all reborn from memory and hope. It wasn't the old multiverse returning. It was something new. A single universe expanding from the spark in his chest. A rebirth, born from Superman's defiance. But as the light grew, so did the pain. The energy within him was unstable. His cells were collapsing, unable to contain the source fire much longer. He understood then, his purpose wasn't to live in this new world. It was to ignite it. Lois saw it in his eyes. "You're not staying, are you?" He shook his head slowly. "Every fire needs a sacrifice. Tell them. Tell them to make it better this time." Lois smiled sadly. "They will. Because of you." Superman floated upward, the heart of creation glowing brighter than ever. The dust of eternity swirled around him, drawn into the light. Each particle became a star, each shimmer a world. He felt it all, the birth of new galaxies, new lives, new dreams. His final words echoed through the newborn cosmos. No matter the universe, there will always be hope. His body disintegrated into beams of golden light, scattering across creation like divine ash. From those fragments, new suns were born. From those suns, new earths. And somewhere within one of them, a baby's cry pierced the silence of a bright new dawn. The cycle had begun again. A young couple on a distant planet looked up at the sky as a shooting star passed overhead. They didn't know what it meant. They only felt warmth, hope, And in that moment, the legend of Superman became eternal. Not a man, not even a god, but a principle, the heartbeat of existence itself. Billions of years later, as civilizations rose and fell, as galaxies were born and died, the story of the man who survived the collapse of the multiverse became a cosmic myth. A whisper told across worlds, when everything ends, there will be one light left, wearing a cape, flying toward tomorrow. The source watched silently from beyond the veil. Its voice was a calm hum within creation. He was more than my child. He was my memory. And as the new universe thrived, a faint echo drifted through its fabric. A voice filled with warmth and strength. Up, up, and away.